Hi everyone, James here. Welcome to another video, and this is going to be a quick contest entry. Wanted to get this in nice and early because I suspected that lots of records would end up being shown for this one, and I didn't want to repeat anybody. That may well already have happened. So this is a video contest entry for Jonathan, the Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector. Do check him out if you haven't already. I'll put the link up there. Jonathan has been on the VC for a while now. I think it's his 250 subs contest. The kind of loose concept of his channel is picking up records as cheaply as possible, something which I'm sure lots of us here can relate to, and he always finds really good things. He's a consummate digger. He's always out digging and loves to show us what he's found, and just an all-round great guy. So the concept that he has put out there is very straightforward. He wants us to show band albums and then a subsequent solo album by somebody who was from that band. Now, I'm going to play a little bit fast and loose with this because I think the concept that Jonathan really kind of wanted us to nail was a band that did a really great album and then somebody left that band and made an album that was equally as good, or the converse to that, somebody who was from a band that made a really great album and then they made a really terrible solo album. So these don't exactly knock the nail on the head because they're not all. It's not all a situation where there's a band album and then immediately a solo album afterwards. It could well be that the solo album came at some point afterwards, and I can't promise it's going to be that great album thing or great album, bad album. It's just band albums followed by a notable solo album. I've tried to pick ones which are fairly significant, or ones that everybody will know, rather than getting too obscure. So let us start with the Flying Burrito Brothers, which of course featured the absolutely marvellous Graham Parsons here in a wonderful suit. How I wish I had a suit like that. So yeah, this was late 60s, maybe 68, 69. Haven't done my research, do apologise. So anyway, so then I think this was 1973, his first solo album, GP, which is a wonderful album, as I'm sure you all know. Kind of not quite as legendary as the follow-up, Grievous Angel, but it still contains some wonderful tracks. It actually contains my favourite Graham song, which is She, which can reduce me to tears on a good day. So there we go, that's the first one. Second one, we have Genesis. Now here is a situation where we are going to have consecutive records. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway was the last album to feature Peter Gabriel, and is often perceived or viewed as the band's greatest work from that period, if not at all. But then Peter left, decided he'd had enough, didn't want to be inside the big industry machinery anymore, so he went off, teamed up with Robert Fripp and Bob Ezrin, and produced the first record of his solo career, which was the beginning of an incredible journey, which saw him being embroiled in the record industry again. But yeah, absolutely classic debut album by Peter. The next one, we're going to skip forward a bit. This is the classic post-punk band, The Teardrop Explodes, classic definitive album, Kilimanjaro. And then Julian Cope went on to a really long, illustrious solo career. I don't think this was the first album he made after the Teardrops, but it's my favourite one. This is Peggy Suicide, which features the wonderful song Beautiful Love. If you haven't heard that one, I urge you to check it out. I'll put the link down below so you can hear it. Really great song. I haven't heard this album for such a long time. I must give it a spin. So yeah, Julian Cope, a megalithic professor, I do believe now. He's written books on megalithic history, ancient stone circles and so on. But he's also written books about Japanese rock and krautrock. A singular guy. Got to show a CD now, I'm afraid. The Velvets classic Banana album featuring Lou Reed and John Cale. This kind of extraordinary, you know, once in a century partnership between a very uptight, repressed, messed up New York singer-songwriter and a classically trained Welshman, John Cale. Didn't go so well, the partnership, and Cale ended up being ousted from the band. This was not the first album he made after leaving the Velvet, but by popular consent it is, if not his finest, then one of his finest. This is the wonderful album Paris 1919, which was a departure from the Velvet's sound. There was nothing abrasive or psychologically disturbing about this record at all. It had a very gentle pastoral production, quite orchestral sounding and choral, produced by Chris Thomas, and just one of the all-time great solo albums of the 1970s. John Cale. And then we're going to finish with a, well, yeah, okay, how much more obvious can you get? This is The Smiths, just an album I grabbed off the shelf, hatful of hollow. I have all the Smiths albums, I have OGs of them all, but they're not in very good condition. This is one that hasn't been shown very often, so I thought I would pick this one. This contains some of their best known songs: Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, William It Was Really Nothing, This Charming Man. Just a good compendium of some of their bigger numbers. And then this is the first solo album that Morrissey put out, I think, after the Smiths. Viva Hate, which features his hit single Suede Head, which saw him teamed up with Vinnie Riley, the guitarist from Durutti Column, who he didn't exactly rival Johnny Marr, but he did some brilliant guitar work on this record. And this is a really nice album. It's the only Morrissey solo album I actually have on vinyl. So Every Day Is Like Sunday, Bengali and Platforms, and Suede Head are probably the most well-known songs off that record. So there we go, that's 5, I think. So yeah, not quite what Jonathan had in mind, but I couldn't quite fulfil the brief exactly, so I hope that was okay for you, Jonathan. Many congratulations on the channel and the contest and the subscribers and everything. I hope you, long may you continue. And if you haven't checked out Jonathan, I'll put the link up there, down there, so you can go and have a look. Okay folks, I'll be back very soon with some more video fun, and until then I will take my leave. Take care, bye bye.